And thank you for joining us today. We'll be starting in a few minutes. Happy Tuesday. This is Carrie Ann Rapp. Welcome to Flocabulary Collaboration Fun. We're going to get started. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with everyone. Okay. Again, thank you for joining us today. I'm Carrie Ann Rapp from Abbott Elementary, and I'm the IST at Abbott. This is my first year as the IST. This is my 17th year teaching. Most of my classroom experience includes 9 years in 3rd grade and 6 years in 5th grade. I'm going to put my contact information up on the screen. If you have any questions that come up after the webinar, please don't hesitate to contact me through my email. You can also see my Twitter handle here if you want to follow me on Twitter. And then I've also included my blog in case you want to see any ideas from when I was in the classroom. I have my blog from 5th grade still up and running. Joining me today as my chat moderator is Sky Blue, and she teaches 2nd grade at Williams Elementary. She will be answering any questions you have in the chat bar throughout the entire webinar, so at any time you can ask questions. We may also have a few minutes at the end of the webinar for a Q&A, so if you write down a question, you can ask at that time as well. If at any time I start going too fast, please let my moderator know, and she'll let me know that I need to slow down. Also, you want to make sure that you stay until the end of the webinar so that you can get the CPE credit link that Sky will add towards the end of the webinar. And that way you can earn credit for participating today. The technology that I have access to in my classroom includes my teacher computer, my i3 Chromebook, 2 student Chromebooks, and I have an iPad mini from the intervention department as well as my teacher iPad. In this webinar, I will be sharing Flocabulary, an awesome resource that our district has purchased for every single one of us. It's amazing. I'm going to share some basic features plus the WRAP feature, W-R-A-P, which stands for Writing Rhymes with Academic Purpose. These features that I'll be sharing can be used with elementary level students all the way up through high school level students. I love that Flocabulary perfectly corresponds with our curriculum across grade levels and subject areas. So according to Flocabulary, rhyme is at the core of what Flocabulary does, and research has proven its impact on student learning and achievement. This webinar will show you how to guide your students to develop higher order thinking skills through high interest writing. Once students have listened to Flocabulary songs and learned information in any subject area, they can synthesize what they've learned by writing their own rhymes. Best part, it's cross-curricular and very fun and engaging for our students. This webinar will address the ISTE standards 1 through 4, facilitate and inspire student learning and creativity, design and develop digital age learning experiences, model digital age work and learning. The student ISTE standards being addressed are knowledge constructor and creative communicator. This webinar also fully aligns with our GISD monthly skill focus for January and February, which is student collaboration and student creation on devices. Again, the tool I'll be modeling today is Flocabulary, so let's get started. I have a funny little joke here. Sometimes we feel as educators a little timid about trying new technology in our classroom, but our students are very capable and often they can be our own teacher. All right, so I'm going to click over here for Flocabulary. First of all, you can access Flocabulary on both an iPad or through the website on a computer. On the iPad, you will go to the GISD Ready Hub app. When going through a GISD computer, you can log in through Clever, then click on Flocabulary. And if you're on a home computer, you can log in through your Google account, and that's what I've done. Once you're on Flocabulary, there are tabs across the top: songs and videos, how to use, and my classes. I want to start off by showing you today the How to Use tab. Okay, there's a great video that I wanted to share with you that you can go back and watch anytime. And it just gives us an idea of how to use Flocabulary with our students. So I'm going to show that to you.
Flocabulary teaches standards-based content with an emphasis on vocabulary. Beats and rhymes make lessons come to life. Our growing library of over 900 videos means there's lots of vocabulary for everyone. Getting started is easy. Your students are going to be excited to explore vocabulary. So first step is to create a class. We make that easy with single sign-on and our Google Classroom integration. Now you're ready to assign any element of the lesson sequence or use them for whole class instruction. Each unit follows the same instructional sequence: engage, master, create. Moving students up Bloom's taxonomy. Engage. First, students watch a hip-hop video to learn key skills and content. Use quick review to quickly assess how much your students learned. Watch it again, this time in discussion mode. The prompts that appear on screen can be used for whole class discussion, or turn and talk to build listening and speaking skills, or as writing prompts. Master. Building vocabulary is key to mastering all subjects. Students study and complete vocab cards to master key terms from the video. Students write and draw to make connections and build literacy skills. Read and respond has students learn more about the topic, see the vocab words in context, and practice for the quiz. Create. Lyric Lab makes it quick and easy for students to write, and then perform their own academic raps. It's a creative way to build higher order thinking skills and demonstrate mastery of the subject. If you're looking for more, Teacher Resources has everything you need to prep your lesson, including a unique printable activity and much more.
Okay, so I love that video because it gives us a really good overview of all the things we can do. And so I'm going to focus in on a couple of things that they mention. So the next thing I want to show you is if you keep scrolling down, there are some more resources that you can use with your students and even a parent letter you can send home to parents. So you just keep scrolling down and there's more information for you. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the home page. And I'm going to show you how to make a class. So we'll go to My Classes. And then you will want to import a class. If you already have Google Classroom set up, you can do this easily through this tab. Or you can create a class, which I'm going to walk you through. Okay, so first I want you to name your class. So I'm just going to put RAP, which is my last name. And I'm going to put second grade. Since I'm an IST, I have all grade levels. And I'm going to select the grade level and select the subject. So I do a small group with reading and math, so I'm just going to go ahead and make a math. And then right down here, I really like this tool as well, where it's a text-to-speech tool for students, and you can enable it or disable it. But I think this is a great tool for our lower grade level students as well as our ELL learners. So then we would create the new class. And then this little pop-up would show you exactly what to do to get students to join the class. You could even send this home to parents to get it to get them on and ready to go. So you could just print instructions there. Okay. I'm going to go back to the home page. And there are different ways to search when you're on Flocabulary. One way is to do it by subject. You can click on these color blocks down here. I'm going to click on language arts. When I was a 5th grade teacher, I did ELA, so I'm very familiar with this section. And once you click there, you have different choices. I'm going to go to the reading and writing block. Okay, once you have chosen a subject, then you'll have all these choices for what you're teaching. One of my favorite is the personification video. This was one that I used with my students. Here it is right here. And it even tells you the grades. This is for grades 4 through 8. So you may not want to use this for lower grades. But it doesn't really correlate with lower grade level TEKS. So they already have that correlation there. And so I'm just going to click on the video. And one of the lessons that I would do with my 5th grade students is we would watch the video whole group. I would let them watch it a second time with the discussion. If you do the discussion tab on, it would pause, and at certain points throughout the video, they have some predetermined pause points with questions to ask the students, so you can carry on a discussion with your class. So that is a great option there. And then I would have my students watch the video a second time and take notes in their reading journal on different examples they found on personification. and they would make their list. And then I would use either an Advent strategy or one of the lead forward strategies where you would think, pair, and share. So they'd think about a couple of examples they wanted to share with a partner. They would pair up with a partner and then share what example they found of personification. And then they'd have a little discussion with their partner. And then I would let them share out their ideas on in class so that I can make an anchor chart for our class and display it for the kids. And so this was a really good activity with some of the kids that weren't really sure exactly what personification was. Once they got to pair up and listen to a buddy, then they felt more comfortable sharing out their ideas. So that was a great little mini lesson that I did with them. And then later, either the next day or when we were doing a different part of reading, I would get 6 to 7 mentor texts that had some really good personification examples. And I'd have them group up 4 to 5 students, and they get to select a book. And they would read the book aloud and use sticky notes to write down examples of personification. And then they would add those sticky notes to our anchor chart as well. And this really was an enjoyable activity, an engaging activity for my students. And they were up and moving, they were communicating and collaborating. So it was a great lesson. You can also search videos just by going song and videos. They have the choices, same choices here as the big colored blocks. And then they would tell you, again, the subcategories and how many videos are in each. So that's another way to search. I'm going to go back to the home page. Another great search option is down here towards the middle of the page where it says standards alignment. If you are teaching a particular TEK, this is a great search option. So here I would go to standards and I would click on the box arrow and go down to Texas, and it has our TEK standards there. And then you could put in your subject. I'm going to put in reading again, or language arts. And then my grade level. And then I would hit search. And then it's going to come up with a list of all of our TEKs that have correlations. So here, 5.2a is one of those big ones in 5th grade. We're constantly working on vocabulary. So here I clicked on the tab that said correlations, and it has several different videos that we can use to correlate with what we're teaching. So I'm going to go to the roots video. Okay, so now I have several options. I can assign this in my Google Classroom or assign it to specific students. I can assign it as an activity to the class. I can choose when it will appear and what class I want to use it with. I can even assign it a due date. So if I just pick on Rap Second, which I know I wouldn't do that because they're a little bit below 5th grade, but I would assign them the different activities that I would want them to do. And then I can start the assignment today, so it's visible for them today. And then I could add a due date as well. And then I could create the assignment. So that's a great activity and tool for when you're wanting to assign something for the students to do on their own. The students will then get a checklist, and they have to check off the items as they fulfill those assignments. So that's really good to keep the kids organized as well. You could also watch this as a whole group. You could do the discussion mode, like I said earlier, that has the assigned stopping points with questions to lead a discussion. You could even go over different vocabulary associated with your roots. They have these great little vocabulary cards. I can even click on one and it will give us the definition. They can write a sentence with the word. They can draw a picture to go with the word. So that is a great option. They have a read and respond area. So they would read through there and then answer the questions, kind of like a quiz, but they have another quiz option as well. And then they have the create lab that I'm going to go over a little more in detail in just a minute. So this is a great little feature too, where they can create their own wrap. If you click on teacher resources, they have a unit overview of what you're teaching. They have handouts and your standards alignment. So one of the, another video I wanted to show you and lesson that I did was in social studies. So I'm going to go to that real fast. And I'm going to go to elementary social studies. And towards the beginning of the school year, we would go over the different regions of the United States. So we have a great little video right here called Regions of the US. So I'm going to click on that. And one of the things I loved about this, we would watch the video 1 or 2 times as a class, and we would take notes on the board about the different regions and what they learned from the video. And then I had the students pair up with a buddy, and we did an assignment on a region. So I told the students, with your buddy, you're going to choose one of the 5 different regions. And so here's the printable activity that it has. The kids get to make their own brochures and kind of sell their region. So here's the front portion of the brochure, like the history of that region, places of interest. They would color their region on the map, some climate and weather facts. Did you know if there's any other interesting facts that they found with their research? The food that is part of that region, plant and animal life that is found in the region, other landforms or bodies of water, the natural resources found in that region, and the manufactured products. And so they would watch the video a couple of times and then also use the district library resources to research their region. I would print these off and the kids would fill all the information in on their region and then they presented it to the class. And I had a rubric that they used, that I used to grade them on. And the kids, again, really loved this activity. They were fully engaged in the activity and really enjoyed working and researching with a buddy. Okay, so I said earlier that I was going to show you the lyrics lab. This is a new feature that they have on Flocabulary, and I really think the kids are really going to enjoy it, and it's also going to bring in some writing to their activity. So I'm going to show you the life skills section. And this is the RAP tool, or Writing Rhymes for Academic Purpose. And I'm going to go to the social and emotional learning. These videos in this section would be great if your school is doing like morning meetings or the art time lessons. These would be great to incorporate in those areas. I like that it has managing frustration. A lot of times our kids are getting frustrated and they can't communicate that. Building empathy is another one. Conflict resolution, what to do when you have a conflict with a friend. So great videos in this section. Another one, bullying is another one. I'm going to go to the growth mindset section. And first, I would show the class the video again, maybe 1 or 2 times. And then you can go over vocabulary with them that they see in the video and teach that. And then the create button is the great feature here. This is the lyrics lab where they can create their own raps. In the top section, they have a space to write their own notes about what they want to include in their rap or what they learned from the video. And then over here on the right-hand side, they have different vocabulary that they have learned from the video and learned through the vocabulary section. And as the kids start creating their rap, they can write down here in this bottom box, and it keeps track of the vocabulary that the kids have used. It will also give hints over here if they start writing in some lyrics. Um, they have slant rhymes, regular rhyming words, synonyms for different words. So, like if I start writing, I put a couple of lines. With growth mindset, you can grow your mind, train your brain, don't feel confined. And then you hit enter, and you can see all these words are starting to pop up. Rhyming words that rhyme with mind and confined. That way I can continue with building my rap. If you scroll down a little bit further, the kids can choose a beat once they have finished their rap. They choose a different beat and you can listen to it. I'm going to put it on real fast. And there is a whole list of different beats that the kids can choose from. And so they really get into that once they have their rap made and they have the song picked out, then they get to perform it for the class. If you don't have enough devices for everyone in your class, you can also export to a PDF. And if you do that, you can print out what you have already, and they can print it out here. Or you can print out the lyric lab ahead of time so that they can work on paper and create their rap. And then if they have a device that comes available, then they can go and pick out the music that they want for it. So I love this feature. And I think it's a great one to get our kids really synthesizing what they learned from our lesson and get them writing, and playing with vocabulary is a great thing as well. So I think this is a great option for creating online with our kids. So we have just about 5 more minutes until the webinar is complete. If you have any questions or if you want me to go over anything else, please feel free to ask questions at this point. Again, with Flocabulary, there are just so many possibilities and so many tools and resources for teachers. The kids are really involved and engaged in these videos and lessons, and I'm so excited that our district has purchased this for each of us to have. I hope that you are able to get on here with your students and work in different areas and different subjects. And please share any ideas that you have. I think that once we start using it more, we'll get more ideas and be able to share out with our education community. And I think Flocabulary is going to be a great tool for us. All right, so Sky is going to put up our CPE link. We just have about 2-3 minutes left. And please click on that link and fill it out so that you can get credit. Make sure you hit submit at the end so that it gets your information saved. And again, thank you for joining Sky and me today for Flocabulary equals Collaboration Fun. If you would like to see other things that I've done with my fifth graders, please check out my blog. I'm going to put that up for you again. So I'm going to exit out of Flocabulary. So again, here's my blog. It's a rapclass.blogspot.com. And this is everything that I did with my students last year. To keep track, usually they had a literacy station where they had to go to the computer and they would go to my blog. And so I had lessons on there, games, different research projects we did. I've included my rubrics on there as well. So if you would like some other ideas on how I used technology in my classroom, please check out my blog. You can also follow me on Twitter at CarrieAnnRapp. And my email is crap@garlandisd.net. And if you want to ask any questions at any time, please don't hesitate to email me. I'll be happy to answer your questions. I hope you have a great rest of your week, and thank you again for joining us. Have a great night, everyone.